We're going to start in about 10 minutes. So we have about 10 minutes if you want to grab a drink and get a pen and paper. We're going to get started in about 10 minutes. We still got people logging in and we're about 10 of. So go ahead and get settled, get a drink, use the restroom, anything you need to do before the webinar starts, and we will get started shortly. We're going to get started in about 5 minutes. So if you want to go ahead and get a drink and use the restroom or grab some paper and a pen, we're going to be starting in about 5 minutes. We've got about 5 minutes till the top of the hour. We do still have people coming in and getting settled. So I just wanted to let you know we are here, we are live, and we will be starting shortly. We will be getting started in about 1 minute. It's 11:59 my time, so we're going to start in about 1 minute. If you want to grab a drink, grab a pen and paper, that'd be great. Again, we're starting in about a minute. So we got a few people still coming in and logging in, and I want to give everybody a chance to get in and get settled. In the meantime, if you want to put your name and where you're joining us from today, that'd be great, into the chat. Okay, gonna get started here in just a couple seconds. All right, I've got 2 minutes after, so we're gonna go ahead and get started today. I definitely want to value your time. I know everybody that's on this call today definitely has busy schedules, so I definitely appreciate you joining me today for the Encore presentation of the 5 surefire ways to increase your exposure in lists. So welcome, everybody. And I just wanted to really take a moment to thank you for coming in. I know, like I just said, we all have super busy schedules, and so I definitely appreciate you and your time. With that said, I'm going to do a little housekeeping. Now, you took the time to invest in yourself today to learn some new content and some strategies to apply to your business. So please, if you can, close out Facebook, close your email, put your phone on silent, remove all distractions. Make sure you grab a pen and paper to take some notes. I'm going to be covering a lot of content today, and I don't want you to miss anything. After the webinar, I will be giving you the slides from the webinar, so you will have those in addition to any notes that you may be taking. And I also have some additional goodies and resources for you that you're going to get after the webinar, which I'm going to share with you as well. These gifts are going to help you to implement what I'm teaching you today, and so this is going to be great tools and resources for you to use to apply in your business. One more quick thing before we get started. We do have a little bit of a lag here on the webinar, so if you have any questions, please do post them in the chat. I will be going back to questions throughout the webinar. So if I don't answer your question right away, don't worry, I'll get to it. If for some reason I miss it, I will be going through the chat roll at the end of the webinar, and I will answer your question via email. So I do want to make sure that I get all of your questions answered. All right, so let's get started. Again, thank you for joining me. This is the Encore presentation for the 5 surefire ways to increase your exposure and lists. Now, I originally did this webinar last Friday, so this is an encore to that. And I had a lot of really great feedback from it, and I wanted to make sure some of you missed it last week, and I wanted to make sure you had a chance to attend it live. Some of you wanted to join last week but couldn't, so again, I wanted to offer you another opportunity to join the webinar live. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. Let's jump on in here. All right, so I just want to take a quick moment to introduce myself. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Skyhawk, and I live in sunny Arizona with my two children, Lucas and Haley, my wonderful husband, Tony, and our adorable American Bulldog, Zoe. I have been a techie virtual assistant and online business marketing manager and strategist since 2003. And I am passionate about helping women entrepreneurs to grow their business and help them to overcome some hurdles that they may be dealing with or struggling with. I'm a certified virtual assistant. I'm a graduate from 2 Geek Labs for techie training for virtual assistants. And I'm a certified online marketing manager. I'm also a certified funnel expert. And I have a few other certifications under my belt, but we're not going to get into them here today. All right, sorry about that. We seem to have a little glitch in the system there. So can everybody hear me okay? Okay, great. All right, so we all know we need to have a plan, and with just about everything we do in life. You know, whether we actually take the time to make that plan and implement it, now that's kind of a different story. Now, your business is no different, especially when it comes to your marketing. You need to have some sort of plan on what you are going to do each and every day, have goals that you want to hit each week, and an overall plan for the entire month and the year. If you don't take the time to do this in your business, you're going to stay stuck and never get to where you want to be. Now, I love this quote by Alan Lycan, and it says, "Failing to plan is planning to fail." And I truly believe that this really applies to business. If we don't have a plan in place, our businesses are not going to grow and ultimately could be a huge failure. Now, not only do we need to have a plan, but we need to implement on that plan, and we need to be consistent with our efforts and strategies. Some marketing efforts will take a little bit of time to kind of gain momentum, but if you stick with it and are consistent, it's going to pay off for you. Now, what I'm going to share with you today are 5 strategies that you can use in your business today to see some big results. It's all about doing a little bit each day to reach your overall goals. Now, when I say do a little bit each day, this needs to be things within your business that are going to be productive. You can't sit on Facebook, Instagram, or Periscope all day long chatting with anybody who will connect with you and expect your business to grow. You need to set clear boundaries around your social media and have a plan for each social media platform that you're going to be working in. The marketing plan that I'm going to show you today is laid out to be done each week, broken up by days. If you're consistent with this plan or one like it, you're going to see some big results. All right, so let's dive in here. This is the time when you want to make sure you grab your pen and paper. We're going to dive into the content. Okay, so the first part of our marketing plan is going to be to become a social diva. And this really is broken up into 2 aspects. One of which is what I like to call the social 20. And that really is a formula for networking and growing your connections on any social media platform, breaking your social media up into 20-minute time segments. Now, the formula for this is pretty simple, and you're going to get a copy of this formula at the end of the webinar. But what it really consists of is what you want to do is you really want to take your social media, and this involves your daily updates, your posting and connecting in groups that you're in. And what you're going to do is you're going to take it and break it up into 20-minute blocks of time. I like to do one social 20 at the beginning of the day and one social 20 at the end of the day, and that's it. This is going to reduce the amount of time wasted on social media and will allow you to focus on other aspects of your business. So your social 20 could look like this. Take 2 minutes to update your status. Take 4 minutes to answer any PMs, at replies, or comments that you need to address. Take 4 minutes to scan and read through your newsfeed. And then take an additional 10 minutes to mingle and connect in top groups that you want to connect in. So maybe pick the top 3 groups you want to connect in and network in, and use those within your social 20. You want to be friendly and helpful and share your message in a positive manner. Now, this doesn't mean that you can't go back at the end of the day or maybe in the evening and really dive into your news feed and maybe make some additional connections. But during the day when you should be focusing on your business, you really should be doing this 1 to 2 times a day. Again, like I said, I like to do it twice a day, once in the morning and once at the end of the day. That way I have a chance to go back and answer any comments that may have been left since I posted in the morning. And like I said again, you want to be friendly, be helpful, share your message, and break it up into 20-minute blocks of time. Now, the other part of becoming a social diva is where you're going to be sharing your content, your products and services, and any additional content that you think your audience is going to enjoy. With this, what you're going to do is you're going to use a service like Hootsuite or Edgar, where you can schedule out your posts for the week. What you want to do is you're going to sit down one day each week and plan out and schedule all of your posts for the entire week. This method allows you to share your message several times a day without having to actually be on social media several times a day. When you take the time to plan out your social media and share your message this way, it really helps to increase your exposure and build your lists. Now, I'm going to be sharing with you a weekly social media resource that is going to have some additional tools and information in it. And again, you're going to get that at the end of the webinar. So that's going to help train you a little bit deeper on this topic. But here are a few ideas to kind of get you started. There are tons of things you can do and share on your social media pages. Some of which may be your blog posts, if you want to share your free and paid offers, maybe some quotes or inspirational messages. Fill in the blank posts are really great for getting interaction with your audience, asking questions, posting polls and surveys, sharing an event either you're throwing or maybe one you're attending. Sharing other people's content is also really great. Maybe you want to share your opinion on a hot topic. Share an interview that you did with somebody or that someone did of you. Post a caption this image. Share a how-to list or a video. Share a video blog post. Share a podcast, maybe an infographic or something that is trending. So when we look at our social media marketing plan for the week, Monday you're going to spend doing your social 20 and you're going to do your weekly social media marketing. That's it. For your social media marketing, you should be posting 2 to 3 times a day. And again, like I said, when we're looking at our marketing plan for the week, you're going to be doing your social 20, 1 to 2 times a day, and then your weekly social media marketing. You're not going to be needing to waste your time on other marketing that's not on our plan, and with the exception of maybe any webinars or telesummits you may be doing, or any paid ads that you're running at the moment. Number 2 in our marketing and exposure plan is becoming a guesting superstar. So when we reach out and pitch to other top blogs in your target audience niche, you're going to increase your audience increase your exposure, and build your lists. And it really is simpler than you think. So when we're creating our media plan, the first week is going to be spent doing research, and weeks 2 through 4 are going to be spent pitching to people and blogs to be a guest on. The process for becoming a guest blogger is really pretty simple, and I'm going to break it down into 3 steps. Step 1 is doing your research. Step 2 is send your pitch email in. And step 3 is going to be to follow up. So step 1 is research. And again, I'm going to give you a guesting resource at the end of the webinar that's going to have some more information about this as well as some tools and maybe some resources you need to get your research done. But you're going to want to identify the top blogs in your target audience's niche. So you want to be seeing where your target audience is hanging out. You want to make sure they have traffic to their blog, and you want to make sure that they post to their blog on a regular basis. Number 2 is going to be crafting your pitch. And again, that resource is going to have a pitch email template in it that you can use. But you're going to want to be friendly. You want to be direct with your intentions. You want to pitch your blog post or article idea. You're also going to want to include a couple of examples of your work. So just place a couple links in there to a few past posts or articles. And of course, you're going to want to include your contact information and your bio. And again, in that resource, there is a template for a pitch email, so you can use that and copy and paste and edit it as needed. And number 3 is going to be to follow up. You want to make sure you're always following up. The people that you're pitching to are really busy, and there's really a good chance that they have hundreds of pitches coming in each week. So make sure you follow up with them in a friendly way. You are also going to want to track your pitches and mark on your calendar when to follow up on them. You don't want to skip this step. This could be the difference of you actually landing a guest interview or a guest post or not. A lot of sales or guest posts or guest interviews are lost because people did not follow up. So if we look at our marketing plan on Tuesday, we're going to focus on all of your guesting. And in addition to that, you're going to do your daily social 20. So 2 social 20s if you want to do 1 in the morning and 1 at the end of the day, and your guesting. That's all you want to focus on for Tuesday. We don't have to worry about social media. We did it on Monday, and it's running throughout the week for us. So that frees us up to do other marketing. Number 3 in our marketing and exposure plan is going to be to become a content queen. One amazing way to get your content out there is to practice blogging at least 1 time per day. You can use this time to do some educational advertising to your target audience. Now, I'm going to be sharing with you a blogging resource at the end of the webinar that you can add to your marketing toolbox. It's going to have tools and resources in there, as well as lists for blog post ideas and checklists and templates in it. So that's going to help you get your blogging off the ground. Now, a few tactics that I really want to touch on to generate leads from your blog posts would be to embed an opt-in form somewhere within your blog. Another tactic is going to be a traffic tactic, and what we do there is we post your blog post on Facebook, and then you're going to want to do a boosted post or a boosted ad for that blog post. So what you do is basically you run an ad for 1 to 2 days, and you're going to pay maybe $5 a day per ad that you're running. And what that does is that will send traffic to that blog. Now, you only want to do this if you do have the embedded opt-in form in there. You don't want to be sending paid traffic to your website with no way of capturing that lead information. So you definitely want to make sure that if you're doing those ads, you have the embedded opt-in form in your blog post. Another great way to increase your email lists is to create a lead magnet that dives a little bit deeper into your blog topic. One thing about the topic I just shared, or the tactic I just shared about the Facebook ads, is that Facebook really, really loves content marketing right now. So your ability to drive traffic to that blog post is extremely inexpensive because that's the type of ads they want to see right now. So it's a really, really, really great way to drive cheap traffic to your website and get eyes on your content. And a lot of people really struggle with, what do I blog about? So here's a few ideas to kind of get you started. And again, these ideas are listed in that resource that I'm going to be sharing with you, with some additional blog post ideas in that resource. But you could do a how-to post, maybe do a problem and solution post. What that is basically you're raising a problem that your audience has, and you're offering them a solution to that problem. You can do a facts post, a case study, an experience share. So share an experience that you have, or maybe one of your clients have had with you. A checklist, maybe a behind the scenes post. You can share an interview that you did on somebody or that somebody did on you. You can do a series post. That is a really great way to have people coming back. Maybe you have one big topic and you break it up into several blog posts. You can do a freebie, maybe offering a lead magnet and doing a little caption on it. If you have a podcast, obviously you want to share your podcast on your blog. You can showcase a person or a product. Maybe you want to showcase a client or a vendor or somebody that's a top guru in your niche. You can share other people's blog posts. You can share videos. You can do guest posts. Maybe somebody's reached out to you to be a guest on your blog. This is a great way to increase your audience that way. You can do a review on a book. You can do a week in review. These are great, especially if there's like an event going on, if you're hosting an event or you're attending an event. Maybe do a series of posts around that event. You can post infographics and trends, maybe a quick tip, stats post. This is a really great list for you for different blog post ideas. So if we take a look back at our marketing plan for the week, you're going to see on Wednesday, we're going to do our social 20 plus our blogging. That's it. Now, can you see how our marketing plan is growing? And doing a little bit each day is getting us big results and a lot of traction in different areas of our business. All right, moving right along in our marketing plan is number 4, which is becoming an interview superstar. Now, this is similar to guesting in how we plan out and execute this tactic. So when it comes to interviews, there are different types of interviews. Now, a lot of people think that interviews are all face-to-face or on video, and they kind of shy away from them because they think they have to be on camera, and a lot of people are really uncomfortable with that. But there are tons of different types of interviews that can be done. A couple of them are listed here, and of course that's face-to-face. There's video and TV interviews. You can do a telephone interview for a podcast or an audio interview. You can do a text or email interview, and that is just simply somebody asking you questions and you going back and answering them, and those are used on blogs or for articles. So the process for landing interviews is pretty simple, and I have it broken up into 4 different steps. Number 1 is going to be obviously do your research. Number 2 is going to be to send in your pitch email. Number 3 is following up, and number 4 is going to be to promote it. So step one is research, and you want to identify the people within your target audience niche that you want to be seen as being interviewed by. You want to make sure that they have an active audience and that they interact with their audience on a regular basis. Okay, I think we're back. Can everybody hear me okay? And see my screen? Okay, Leslie said, great. You can see and hear me. All right, sorry guys. We are having a little bit of some weather where I'm at, and I'm not for sure what's going on, but my internet is acting a little funky, so hopefully we can finalize this webinar. I'm going to go back to number 4, which is becoming an interview superstar. I'm not for sure where you guys stopped being able to hear me or where the screen cut out. So we're going to go back to number 4, if that's okay with everybody. All right, and like I said, we do have a little lag, so if you do have any questions, just pop them in the chat and I will answer them as we go. So again, number 4 is becoming an interview superstar. Now, like I said, this is similar to guesting in how we plan and execute this tactic. So when it comes to interviews, there really are a few different types of interviews that we can do. Now, a lot of people, when they think of doing interviews, they think of being on video or TV. And so a lot of people kind of shy away from doing interviews because they're scared to be on camera. But there are several different types of interviews that you can do. Some of them, like I said, are face-to-face, which are the video and TV interviews. There are telephone interviews, which are great for podcasts and audio. And there are text and email interviews, and those are great for blogs or articles. And those really just consist of somebody emailing you a list of questions and you just kind of going back and answering them. And then they will post those on their blog or use them within an article. And like I said, again, it's very similar to guesting. And I'm going to have that additional interview resource for you at the end of the webinar, which is really chock full of tips, tools, and resources that are going to help you to implement this strategy. And landing interviews can really be broken down into 4 steps. Number 1 is going to be to do your research. Number 2 is going to be to send in your pitch email. Number 3 is following up, and number 4 is to promote it. So step 1, you're going to want to do your research. You're going to want to identify the people within your target audience's niche that your target audience is viewing. So, maybe somebody in your target audience likes Marie Forleo. So maybe you want to see if you can be interviewed by her, which is going to increase your message and your audience by being seen by her audience. So you really want to find people to be interviewed by that your target audience pays attention to. You definitely want to make sure they have an active audience and that they interact with their audience on a regular basis. You don't want to be pitching to people who do not interact with their audience or their audience isn't active, because it's just essentially wasting your time. Number 2 is crafting your pitch. And, again, in the resource, you're going to have the pitch email template in there that you can use. But you really want to be friendly. You want to be direct with your intentions. You want to pitch your interview and topic. And you really want to set them in with a really strong intro. And of course, you want to include your contact information and your bio. And again, in the resource, you will have that template where you can cut and paste and enter your information and change it to sound like it's coming from you, but it will give you a really good idea of how to craft that pitch email. And number 3, again, is going to be to follow up. Follow up with them in 3 to 5 days And you're going to want to keep track of your pitches on an Excel spreadsheet or something like that so you know who you've pitched to, when you should follow up with them, and then make sure you put on your calendar when to follow up with them. And number 4 is going to be to promote it. Now, a lot of times, we could take this interview and promote it on all of our social media. You want to post it on your blog and your website. And then you can create an as seen on image for your website. So if you've ever been to somebody's website and you see those as seen on Fox News or Huffington Post or NBC or anything like that, those are because they've landed interviews or they've landed guest blog posts. And I can guarantee probably about 70% of those are because they pitched to those people to be interviewed or to be a guest blogger. So you definitely, you want to create that as seen on badge that you can display on your website. That creates, that expertness as being seen as an expert to your audience. And then again, you want to create a press page for your website. And those are included in the resource. So there is additional information on how to do that and what to include for those as well. So now if you look at our marketing plan for Thursday, you're going to see the social 20 and then you're going to see interviews. So you can do, again, 2 social 20s for the day, and then you want to just concentrate on either doing research or pitching for your interviews. And that's all you want to do for Thursday. So if we go back and we look at our week, you're going to see Monday, you want to do your social 20, and then you're going to do all of your weekly social media marketing. Tuesday, you're going to do your social 20, and you're going to be either doing your research for guest blogging or you're going to be doing your pitching for your guest blogs. Wednesday is going to be spent doing your social 20 and doing your blogging, and Thursday is going to be spent doing your social 20 and doing interviews. Part of the reason why all of this works is really because you're taking small actions each week and you're being consistent with them and you're doing them, on a daily basis. So number 5 in our exposure and media plan is to become a follow-up maven. Now, following up is going to be critical, and a lot of businesses lose a lot of business because they simply didn't follow up. So on the days that we do our follow-up, you're going to want to do following up on any pitches that you have out there. You want to follow up with potential clients, and you can follow up with past clients. You'd be surprised how many business owners pull in additional business because they just simply followed up with a past client. And it can just be simply, a check-in and see how they're doing. For me, I do a lot of follow-ups with past clients. Maybe I manage their marketing or their social media at one point. So maybe I'll just send them an email, checking in to see how things are going, or maybe I saw a post that they shared that I just wanted to say, hey, great post, or something like that. Just kind of creating that connection with them again and starting a conversation with them. The other part of following up is going to be to do a social follow. And really what that is following new people on social media. And then once they accept your friend request or their follow or anything like that, you really want to maybe send them a message and just say, hey, thank you for accepting my friend request. You want to be polite with them, maybe introduce yourself a little bit, but ask them about them. You want to get some information about them and start a conversation or a dialogue with them that way as well. So if you look at our marketing plan for the week, on Friday you see social 20 plus our follow up and follow. And again, that's just following up with people and then following new people on social media. And why does this all work? All of this really works because it works together in building your list. It also increases your exposure by getting you in front of new audiences, and a lot of these tactics help you to be seen as an expert in your niche. So if you're being interviewed or you're being seen on these top blogs or by top people in your industry, you're going to be seen as an expert just simply because you're interacting or being seen on those sites. So as I've been moving through all of our content, I told you that I'm going to be sharing some resources with you. And what I did is I created a resource page for you that has all of these resources on it. You're going to get the slides from the webinar. You're also going to get additional resources and tools on each topic. You're going to get a Know Your Numbers tracker, a blog calendar, and a resource for creating lead magnets. And I want to share that page with you. So I wanted to show you what that kind of looked like so you can get an idea of what kind of content you're getting there. And again, this is a free resource. So let me go to my screen and I'm going to share a new screen with you here. So let me grab that real quick. Okay, so you should be able to see the resource page now. Can everybody see that? And as I'm waiting for responses on that, I will just start running through this because we do have that lag. All right, so on this page, as I said, you're going to get resources for each topic that we talked about today. And again, each resource here has additional resources within it. So it's got tools in there you can use, templates, checklists, spreadsheets, different things like that you need to do these tactics. So as you can see here on the top left, you're going to see the Social 20. So if you click on this, it's going to open a resource that you can download that gives additional information on how to do your Social 20, how to break it up. It also has that formula for you on how many minutes to spend on each item. The Social Diva resource is going to give you additional information and tools on software that you can use to implement the Social 20, or sorry, the Social Weekly planning. And it's going to give you some additional information on what to post, what to share, different ideas there. Now, the Guest Superstar resource is going to give you some additional information on how to actually implement trying to become a guest blogger on these top blogs. It gives you some information on how to do your resource and some tools that you need to use to do that. It's also going to give you that pitch email template that you can cut and paste and change it to be your information. The Content Queen resource is going to give you some additional information on blogging. Again, with additional tools and resources, there's a list in there for blogging. There's also a resource in there for managing your blogs to kind of plan them out. The Interview Superstar resource, again, is going to have additional tools and resources for you to implement this strategy. Now, as you can see on the right-hand side, it says a lead magnet resource. And what this is this is a resource that I created on how to help you to create some new lead magnets. So a lot of the things that we want to share on our social media sites is going to be, maybe some free content that you have that you can put out there and have people opt in for to get your content. Obviously, it's a great way to grow your lists. I use this all the time and I give out free resources like this to help grow lists. And again, you want to put out resources that people in your target audience can actually use. You don't want to be putting stuff out there that they can't use. On the bottom left, as you can see, the webinar slides. So you're going to get all the slides from the webinar, so you can actually pull out that marketing plan if you want. You can print it out and put it up somewhere if you want to go ahead and implement that. Now, the Know Your Numbers I wanted to kind of go over with you. This is a resource that I created and I actually use in my business each week. So let me click on that, and I wanted to go through it with you real quick so you know how to use it and understand what it is. Sorry, guys. It looks like it went out again. I'm so sorry. I'm going to be sending you guys the original recording from last week where there was no technical issues. So after this, you will get that. Um, some of you I see are on our guest link. So if you want access to that, go ahead and contact me. A lot of you got that through Facebook. So if you send me a private message on Facebook, I will go ahead and email that out to you. You gotta love technology. I swear it's been one of those days today. So I apologize. I definitely appreciate your time, and I'm a little frustrated with the technology we've had today. But on the left-hand side of the Know Your Numbers, I'm not for sure what all everybody caught, but this is an additional resource that I have within that resource page. On the left-hand side, you're going to see your social growth, and I print this out each week, and I keep all of this in a binder, so I keep past weeks so I can able to go back and see the growth that I've had over the last several weeks. On the left-hand side, I just write down at the beginning of each week how many Facebook connections I have and how many fans I have for each of the pages I manage. And then Twitter, Pinterest, Instagram, you do the same thing. You just write down how many followers or connections you have. And then your email list. You want to write down how many people you have on your list. And I was going back over my list over the last couple of weeks, and I have more than doubled my social following, and I've more than doubled my email list just in the past about 3 weeks now, just from doing really 2 of the strategies that I've taught you today. So the stuff really does work if you implement it and you're consistent with it, but you definitely want to take the time to learn the tactics and implement the tactics that I'm teaching you today because they do work. On the right-hand side is for your income growth. So at the top, you just want to put last month's income. You want to write down your minimum income you must meet. Your projected income is really for people who, maybe you have clients that pay you each month. Coaching clients, if you have a set amount of clients that pay you a certain amount each month, that's a great way to do your projected income. And not everybody can do projected income. Some people, you don't know, how many clients you're going to have for the month. So if you can't do it, that's fine. Just leave that spot blank. And then your dream income, that's just going to be a goal for you to hit. So if you have a certain goal, maybe you want to hit $10,000 a month, just writing it down and keeping it in front of you really helps you to see it and visualize it. And then at the end of the month, you want to write down what your actual income was for that month. And again, this is a really great way to help you track your growth and your income growth as well. Income stream section is really just to kind of write down maybe your top 3 income streams that you want to market for the month. So if you want to write those down, that helps you to stay focused on what services or offerings that you should be marketing for the month or the week. Blog posts for the month. So when we're sitting it down and we're planning on our blog, these are going to be just, you can write down some quick ideas for the blog posts that you plan on blogging for the month. And then if we go to page 2, this is to help you track your calls and your media opportunities. So on the left-hand side, you're going to want to write down at the beginning of each week. And again, like I said, I print one of these out each week at the beginning of the week and I fill it out. So you want to write down how many book calls you have for the week that you know of. I know that always changes. Sometimes we get additional book calls midweek, and that's fine. You want to write down how many book calls you had last week so you're able to see the growth and the change. Maybe it went up, maybe it went down. You want to write down what your goals are for book calls for the week. And then you do want to track your canceled and no-shows for the week. Maybe there's something going on and you see a pattern of people canceling. So that's a great way to kind of track that. And then you want to keep track of the closed deals you had from those book calls. So I just kind of keep tally marks for any closed deals that I have from the book calls. That really helps me to gauge how many calls I'm doing and how many of those calls actually turn into closed deals. Up at the top on the right-hand side, you're going to see media opportunities. So if you're doing what I've taught you today, if you're reaching out to those top blogs or you're reaching out to top people to be interviewed by, you're going to be able to list your media opportunities. Maybe these are media opportunities you have coming up, so you want to just kind of quickly jot them down so you have them in front of you. The actions I need to take, those are really kind of just actions that you need to take to accomplish maybe your blog, maybe you need to do some research, your media opportunities, maybe you need to write out an article, maybe you need to prepare something for somebody. So those are going to be where you fill out the actions I need to take. And then the bottom section is really for yourself, and it is, how do I want to feel? And that really is kind of just to write a message to yourself and a little bit of inspiration to yourself. How do I want to feel if I'm hitting my income goals? Or how do I want to feel if I'm making my call goals? Or, how do I feel or want to feel if I'm growing my email list? So that's just kind of something to write to yourself. It kind of gives you a little bit of inspiration and you're able to kind of go back and look at that. But this is a really great tool. I use it in my business each and every week. Like I said, I print out a new one each week, I put it in a binder, and I can really track the progress I'm making. A lot of times when we're in our business and we're doing these things, we don't always see, what kind of progress we're making in our business. So if you have a way to actually track that and see it, it really gives you that that energy to keep going and keep doing it because you can actually see the progress you're making. So again, that's in the resource file as well. I also do have an additional resource that I'm sharing with you there, and that is the blog post planner. And this is something else that I use in my business to kind of help me manage my blog posts. So when I'm going through each month and I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to blog, this kind of helps me keep track of my topics, categories. If you're doing SEO stuff within your blog, this gives you SEO keywords you can write down, the SEO description. So when you're going back and you're writing those blogs, all you got to do is quickly pull this out, fill out the information here, put it in your blog, and it really kind of helps you to keep on track with your blogging so you don't kind of feel like everything's not organized. This helps you organize it. So there's some additional information here if you want to check that out as well. So does anybody have any questions? This is a good time to ask some questions. And I will go back and answer those as we go. But again, you're going to get access to this at the end of the webinar. We'll be sending out an email with a link to this, and I'm going to send you a link to the recording from last week's webinar because we didn't have any technical issues last week. So I definitely want to get you a good recording of this where you can actually go back and listen to everything. Maybe you had a question on how to use something within the resource file, so those should be answered within the webinar. So just moving right along. And I wanted to share something with you. So let me go back to the webinar presentation. So let me close this out here. Just bear with me just 1 second while I switch my screens over. Okay, so I wanted to share something with you before we end our webinar. And again, I thank you so much for bearing with me through all the technical issues we've had today and the little snafus we've had. I'm not for sure what's going on, but I think some of it has to do with the internet connection today. And I apologize again. But I wanted to know if you're ready to grow your business. Now, part of what I do for clients is I support clients with their technical stuff, the things they need to actually run their business by creating their landing pages, their websites, autoresponders, opt-in forms, things like that that you need to actually use to run your business. The other side of what I do is, I help my clients create strategies and come up with plans kind of like this one to help grow their business. Now, last week, I did this presentation last Friday, and I opened up 5 slots for new clients to work with me on a monthly basis. Now, I had 3 of the spots taken from today to the last Friday. So as of right now, I only have 2 spots available for new clients to work with me on a one-on-one monthly basis type situation. And I just wanted to let you know, if you wanted to learn some more information about it and schedule a free strategy session with me and, kind of find out how I can help you in your business, you can feel free to go to this link. It's at yourservice-va.com/business explosion strategy session. And I'm going to share that here in the chat. So if you want to get maybe some information on how a virtual assistant can help you grow your business, maybe you're struggling with some technology in your business, maybe you need some help implementing the technology or creating, strategies in your business, this is a really great opportunity for you to get that additional resource in your business. So let me go ahead and grab the link real quick so I can put it in the chat for you. And all it is, it's just a quick opt-in. All you're going to do is you're going to opt in. That's going to take you to a quick survey. And that survey allows me to really get a little bit of information about you before our call, so I can really plan out and get some ideas based on you and your business's needs. Again, a lot of businesses, they really, really struggle with creating those lead magnets or creating the opt-in forms or landing pages, setting up those funnels, the technical stuff you need to run your business. So I do that, but I also help you create strategies, and we come up with ideas on, maybe how to market some new offerings you have and things like that. So again, if you want to get some more information on that, feel free to go to the URL. And just sign up for a quick strategy session. It's free. You can get some more information, bounce some ideas off me. And again, thank you so much for joining me today. Apologize tremendously for all of the technology issues we had. It's been one of those weeks, and we are having some pretty bad weather here, so I think that kind of played a role in the internet issues and the lag we have within this webinar. Unfortunately, when we deal with technology that's online based, we don't always get the best results. So again, thank you so much for joining me through this. And if you have any questions, I'm going to stay and answer some questions. But if not, you will be getting an email from me shortly that's going to include the link to the resource page and a link to last week's recording. So again, if you have any questions, feel free to pop them in the chat, and I will talk to you soon. Also, I'm going to be doing some more free training, maybe on some technology or different tactics. So if you have any ideas or anything you're struggling with, please feel free to pop them in the chat. I will be creating some training based off of feedback I have. I have posted in some of the groups that I'm in on Facebook, so I'm getting some ideas on some trainings. There will be some training on Facebook ads, retargeting ads, maybe some best practices for sales funnels or landing pages. So if there's anything you're struggling with or a tactic you're struggling with, please feel free to pop it in the chat. I will be coming out with some new training. Again, thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope you have a great rest of the day.